Hey guys, Mike here from Lunch Money Comics. Today I'm doing something a little bit differently. I'm going to be showing you a CGC submission and box opening. And how I'm going to do that is, well, with the magic of the internet, I will show you the raw books right in front of me, and then I'll fast forward, 30 days from now, I'll edit the footage together of me, unboxing these comic books and see what I get. And what's really cool about these comic books I'm going to show you is that I got all of them except for one at flea markets and garage sales. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. This is Marvel Secret Wars number 8. Of course, this is the origin of the black suit, which eventually is revealed to be Venom. And I got this at that garage sale haul from a gentleman down the street. This is, of course, the direct edition. I have a newsstand edition in my collection that's raw. I debated sending that in too, but this is the one I'm going with now. It was in excellent shape. And I had it pressed and cleaned. In fact, all the comic books I'm going to show you, I had pressed and cleaned by a good friend of mine. His name is Jeff Newman, and he belongs to Comic Spa. He is actually used to be in the paper business. That was what he did as a profession. He is an expert on paper, and he can fix up any old document, and especially comic books. So he sort of has a side job in this company, Comic Spa. I will put a link to his email down in the description. If you are in New England and you're looking for the best of the best, Jeff is the guy to go to at Comic Spa. I don't trust anyone else touching my books other than him. He's an absolute miracle worker. Big plug for him. So he went through all of these books here. And one of the other things he provides, not only does he clean and press these books, but he also will go on the CGC forums, post really close-up pictures of the books he has, and tries to get an opinion from people who are in the know of what the comic would grade. So it's sort of an extra service he provides. So this is the first one. This Secret Wars number 8 had some blemishes. Mostly it had a couple of, spine ticks. It had a couple of, areas where it looked almost like a manufacturing error. And he was able to get almost all of those out. And, what's really great about this is that despite the fact it was in this cardboard box, just like laying in there without a bag, it was in remarkably good shape. And if you watch my video from that pic, I was pretty shocked by the condition of this thing when I found it. So excellent comic book. I think the coolest part about this is that right now CGC is offering a custom label of the black suit Spidey. This is literally this cover, and for the upper corner, it's totally worth the $5. It fits it really perfectly. So there you go. That's the first one going in. Next up, we have from that same lot, we have Star Wars number 68. Really cool cover with Boba Fett on the front. This was also in remarkably good shape. I will say on, a closer inspection of this, there were some more flaws. One of the back corners has a little bit of a fold to it. It's not a color break, but it has a curl. And, despite his best efforts, Jeff, keeping it in the press for days, couldn't quite get it out. There's also some sort of it's hard to see, but there's also some sort of printing errors, which I don't think will, go against the grade so much. It's just that it's not pristine looking. But otherwise, this is a fantastic yellow cover. This is the one I have the highest hopes for in terms of value. I actually think it's going to grade lower than I originally thought. I was hoping for something, in the 9.4, 9.6 range. I think I'd be lucky to get a 9.92, but hey, I tend to be pretty conservative on these things. So this is a great book, and if this one grades really high, it's one of those books that could be worth quite a bit of money. I love it. It's pretty awesome. First mention of the Mandalorians. Really cool. Okay, the next the next two, rather, I got from that same lot, that same garage sale. And these two are actually really great covers. These are Spectacular Spider-Man 99 and Spectacular Spider-Man 101. They have really great art by Milgram and Byrne on the cover. Just fantastic covers. Some of my favorite Spider-Man covers of all time. They're not worth particularly much. Even if I got a grade, over 9, they're still probably, in the $100 range at best. But, the spots showing up and Into the Spider-Verse too soon, and this cover with the negative space is just fantastic. I kind of want these graded so I can put them behind me on the wall. I also have copies of these in the raw in my collection, and the way I kind of justify it is I could always sell those ones off, and, that would pay for basically the grading of these two books. So, two awesome covers. I can't wait to get these ones graded. All right, the last one that I actually picked from my flea market was this one, Infinity Gauntlet number 1. Very familiar to everyone on who's watching this. I have another one of these in my collection that's raw. This was the better copy of the two. I was able to get it in Palmer in the beginning of the summer of 2022. And this one's in really great shape. I was pretty shocked by it. It has one tiny tick on the spine that we couldn't get out, and just a little bit of you just see a teeny bit of white right on that top, you know, line of the book. But otherwise, it's in incredible shape. I fully expect this to grade over a 9. It's just a great cover. Again, not worth a ton of money, but it'll look great on the wall behind me. And this is one of those sort of institutional books that I remember as a kid. You know, everyone knows what this one is. I'm not going to be a millionaire getting a high grade on it, but it's a really cool comic book nonetheless. The last one is one that I did not get from a flea market or a yard sale. This one I bought at a comic store, but I got a fantastic deal on it. This is The Man Called Nova #1. This is the first appearance of Richard Rider's Nova. I've always liked Nova, I just didn't have this book. I kept searching for it, and I kept finding like ones that were in bad shape or ones that were just too expensive. When I stumbled upon this one, it was among 3 that I found in a comic shop down in Connecticut. And it was one of those things, like, one of these things is not like the other. One of them was pretty beat up and had like a chip in the top. The other one was in decent shape, but you know, there was some obvious ticks. And then there was this one. And this one was like, I couldn't believe how shiny it was, just how clean it was. And it wasn't that much more than the other 2. So I got it at the time thinking this is great. And I gave it to my buddy Jeff at Comic Spot. And when he looked at it, he was a big Nova fan first and foremost. But when he looked at it, he was shocked by how nice it was. He said it was the nicest one he'd ever seen. And especially the gloss. And after he worked on it, he said of all the hundreds of comic books he's worked on in his life, this is the glossiest cover he's ever seen. I have very high hopes for this one. I'm hoping for like a 9.4 is sort of what I'm expecting. You know, I'll be happy with anything really 9.2 or over, but really, really fantastic book in incredible shape. Very high hopes for this one. Now, I want to point out something really quick. A lot of comic books you saw that I'm sending in have really cool covers, and that's sort of the thing for me. I like raw books. I'm one of those guys that, you know, when you grade a comic book and encapsulate it, the function of the thing kind of goes away. It's a poster at that point. So I usually only like to, you know, get a comic book graded if it's something that's going to be preserved. You know, it's old and I don't want it to degrade anymore. 2, I want to make sure the price is pretty firm. That's one of the benefits of grading things, is that you know what it's worth, you know what you're getting, you know what it is when you're selling it or buying it. But the final one is that, like, if it's a comic book with a cool cover, since you're essentially turning the thing into a poster or a picture, I think it's worth it if you have a really cool, you know, cover like these comic books here. I think they present really well because, you know, I mean, you're not going to open them up anyways and look at the inside. So really the outside is all that matters at that point. So through the magic of the internet, I'm going to leave you right now, but I'll see you in a second, hopefully opening some boxes from CGC. See you soon. Hey, so welcome to 30 Days in the Future. I got my comic books back from CGC. Actually got 2 boxes. I got a single box here for the special label, and then the other 5 are in this bigger box right here. It actually took 29 days for the big box and 1 more day for the special label. So 30 days total for everything to come back. I have not checked these grades at all. I actually think 30 days is pretty good considering Florida got hit with a major hurricane in this time period. So 30 days, not much has changed. It's 30 degrees colder outside. I think my walls changed behind my back. But before I crack these open, I just want to remind you guys, if you like this sort of stuff, please go down, hit that like button, leave me a comment, and please consider subscribing. It's a great way to support my channel, and it means a lot to me. So without further ado, let's crack these open. I can't wait to see them. All right, so let's open the regular submissions first. The one thing I didn't mention in sort of my intro, that first part there was, you know, why I graded these. I know I kind of talked about like the kind of different reasons why I think it's okay, but for someone who doesn't like graded books, why did I go through this? Well, for 2 reasons. One, I actually signed up for CGC a long time ago, and I had that $150 worth of credit. And other than, you know, sending away for the special package they send you, you know, for the shipping supplies, I wasn't really like into it. I wasn't really thinking about sending things in. So I thought kind of a cool video would be to send in ones that I got from garage sales or flea markets because, you know, a lot of times, and I've mentioned this in other videos in the past, that, you know, when you're looking through flea markets and yard sales, you get horrible condition books. I wanted to point out that they're not always in terrible condition, and a little TLC from a professional cleaner and presser can go an awfully long way. So, let's dig into this. Man, they package these things good. Now, I have not checked the grades on these. It's very hard, by the way, to not check the grades. When you see them show up on your profile that they've been graded and they're on their way, all you gotta do is click and you'll be able to see all the grades right away and you won't be surprised. I have actually been pretty good. I've been very careful about not looking at these beforehand, and I'm gonna be very careful about not looking at these, you know, grades before I show them to you. The one other thing I want to add is I mentioned in the first part of the video that the guy who did my cleaning and pressing, one of the services he provides is he puts really high quality pictures on the CGC forums, and he actually uses a forum called Hey Buddy, Can You Spare a Grade? So what I didn't mention in that first part of the video, although I mentioned what was sort of wrong with the books, I didn't really mention what the people on that forum actually thought these would be. So I know those guys are actually eager to find out what these are. We basically like send in the pictures of when it comes in and they can see how close they were. So that's kind of fun. And so I'm going to tell you exactly what they thought they were, what I think they are, and we'll see how close everybody was. All right, I got to do this without looking at the comic books. All right. Okay, first up, I'm being very careful not to look at the grade here. So the first one up, just the order that they're in, Spectacular Spider-Man 101. This is the very famous John Byrne cover. And this one actually, I thought it looked pretty good when I first got it. Jeff looked at it and cleaned it up for me, and it was in great shape, except both the top corners on the spine side were blunted. So everybody there sort of thought it would be knocked down. So looking at what they said, Spectacular Spider-Man 101, the average grade that these guys on the forum gave it was a 9.0. They said spine blunted on both ends. There's a manufacturing stain, which probably shouldn't count against it. So 9.0. Yeah, I think it's probably a 9.0. Yeah, let's see. Oh, what is that? Hold on. I gotta take out the invoice. Didn't expect that. Okay. Here we go. So you guys see it right here? Let me take it out of the plastic so you can actually see it. Okay. Awesome, awesome John Byrne cover with a negative space. Really cool. Man, this is a clean looking book, guys. I mean, those blunted corners notwithstanding. Wow, that's clean. I'm hoping maybe a 9.2. Maybe if I'm lucky. 9.4. I will take a 9.4 off-white to white pages. 9.4. It's funny, guys. I say I'm not really into slab books, but I can't help but get excited about this. I have heard from people who do this a lot that it is kind of addictive. A little bit of gambling, I think. So yeah, this is pretty cool. I mean, again, this is a book that presents so well. I'm going to keep it in a slab anyways. I would never read this book. I only have it because it looks cool. A 9.4 on this? Really cool. I'll have to look up all the values of these, as I'm getting towards the end of this edit here and tell you guys what they go for. 9.4, hey, that's definitely higher. So the guys in the forum said a 9.0, so cool. Thanks, guys. Thanks for being a little conservative. It made it a little more of a surprise for me. All right. Next up, let me cover this. Oh, perfect. Spectacular Spider-Man 99. So this one here, this is the famous, Al Milgrom cover of Spider-Man fighting Spot in Spot's first cover appearance. This one here, yeah, this one kind of got hit pretty bad. We had lots of estimates here from an 8 to a 9, and the average that everyone said was sort of an 8.5. And the reason was, there was a fold in the upper corner that just wouldn't press out. Comic Spot just couldn't get it out despite leaving it in the press. So the guess was the average is an 8.5 is what people thought it was. I think that's probably right. So you can see it right here. Very cool looking book. And it is what? What? I mean, guys, that's a whole grade higher. Is this my book? This is a whole grade higher than what people thought it was going to be. More than a whole grade higher. Again, the lowest estimate was an 8. Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good now. That's crazy good. It makes you wonder how far it was from a 9. I mean, looking at it right now, guys, there's clearly like you can actually see. I don't think you can see the camera. There's actually never mind a blunted corner, but there's actually like a peel on it, almost like. Wow. Okay. Wow, 2 for 2. Both those Spider-Mans were much higher than we thought. All right. Next up. All right, perfect. Infinity Gauntlet #1. I've said this in the past, in the first part of the video. This isn't a huge book, guys. I just remember as a kid, I found this at a flea market, and I was shocked by how good a shape it was in. There was really only one tick I could see, and it was barely color breaking. And the big one for me was that there was almost like a little bit of fuzziness on the top. It's just the smallest white, on the top there. So the estimates here were 9 to 9.4, with a 9.2 being the average by the people on the forum. So, it looks really nice. Let's see what it is. Another 9.6. Wow. Okay. Okay, I do want to point out really quick though, despite the fact that everyone on the forum said it was like averaged around a 9.4 or 9.2, Jeff, who did the pressing, actually said it looked very similar to the one he had in a 9.6. So, man, three for three, guys. Feeling pretty good about these grades here. But now I'm getting nervous because these are the three easy ones. These are the three ones that I just really want to put on the back wall. They're not worth that much money. All right, what's next here? So here is Star Wars 68. Trying to look at the other grades here. Star Wars 68 is this one here. Oh, I don't want you guys to see either yet. So this one here I thought was really, really, really good when I first saw it. And then when we actually took it out and actually cleaned and pressed it, we noticed that there was a crease in the lower corner. I'll see if I can see it in a second. That despite being in the hot press, in the cold press for days, it would not flatten out. It's not really color breaking. It's just a curl. So because of that, this was all over the park. People estimated this was as low as a 7.5 all the way to an 8.5. So the average was an 8. Someone said 8.5 is the absolute ceiling because of the crease. I expect an 8.5. I'm hoping for an 8.5. This is one of those books, it could be worth a lot of money if it was over 9, but I don't have my hopes up here because that crease is pretty big. So here we go. Star Wars 68 is a 9. Man, everyone on the forum is pretty conservative. I guess I am too. I'm happy with a 9. That's a pretty looking book. See, I can just see right now a non-color breaking tick right there. And yeah, wow. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's I'll angle it a couple times. There's a crease there that just wouldn't go away, and I'm guessing that's all of the points off pretty much right there. So awesome looking book. I talk about I don't love slab books. One of the benefits is that you know what their worth is. And this is one of those books that I think this is awesome, but I might flip this book. I don't do it very often. I almost never sell comic books, but this is one that I think if I can get a good price for it, I think it's worth selling and getting something better that I want. So Star Wars 68, Boba Fett on the cover, first mention of the Mandalorians in a 9.0. I'm okay with it. I really want to know if that crease wasn't there, what this would have been. Only one color breaking tick in it. It would have been at least a 9.6, if not a 9.8. So, all right. Now we're getting to the other two big ones, the ones that I really care about here. So this next one here is Nova 1. I love Nova number 1. Back when I recorded that first part of the footage, I actually had a whole spiel about 2 days from when I was filming that. They were having D23. I was hoping they were going to mention Nova was going to be added to, the MCU soon. And there were some hints, they've been talking about it for years. And he wasn't mentioned, so I cut the footage out. And he still has been mentioned as of right now in October 2022. But still, I have my hopes up and trying not to look here. So here it is, The Man Called Nova number 1. Let me take it out of the bag. This is a comic book that I did not buy at a flea market. I did get this for a really great deal at a comic shop, though. And the notes on this one are... there were some color breaking and non-color breaking ticks on the spine. I can see them right now. And that was pretty much it. I mentioned how high the gloss was on this, how well it presents. It looks awesome in the slab. And this was the same thing. This was a 9 to a 9.4. They said the ceiling was a 9.4. And the average, even though the ceiling was a 9.4, I think the average of what everyone told me was a 9. I would take a 9. I'd be happy with a 9. I'm hoping for a 9. What is going on? What is going on? Guys, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4 non-color breaking ticks, 1 color breaking tick, and that got a 9.6. That's a big book, guys. Wow. Okay. I'm feeling pretty good now. That's a big book. I'm happy to have this one. It pains me I can't read it. I did flip through it. I did look at this comic book before it was slabbed. But man, yeah, I'm doing well here. This is bad. I'm gonna be addicted to doing this stuff, and I really don't want to be. It goes against everything Lunch Money Comics stands for. It's awful. Here we go. All right, I have to open another box now, so I'm gonna have to cut. Give me a second. As I'm pulling these out too, I have to keep reminding myself, I got these at a yard sale. Most of these I got at a yard sale. They weren't bagged or boarded. They were just thrown in non-comic boxes. They were in like, plastic containers. Blows my mind. Guys, I cannot speak highly enough to Comic Spa, what they've done. Yes, they were in pretty good shape when I got them, but he absolutely made them better. I'm guessing all these grades that are coming up right now, they're at least a grade higher because of what he did. Guy does miracle work. Unbelievable. Jeff, if you're watching this, I know you were going to watch this. I owe you, man. I absolutely owe you. You're the best. All right, so my last one is Oh boy. So the last one is the Secret Wars number 8. This is the direct edition. I have a newsstand edition that's fairly beat up. I'm probably going to have Comic Spot look at that one as well. I debated sending that one in simply because even though it was in worse condition, they are offering the custom label that I got on this book. So that's what makes me really excited. Let me make sure I don't accidentally see this. Okay. Okay, let me take it out of the plastic. All right. I want to get a good look at the this custom label too. Okay, am I covering it? Yes. Oh, look at that, guys. Right? That, I mean, it's worth it. So here's the thing, it's $5 for a custom label, but not really because it has to ship back separately. So you end up paying more shipping. This is, in fact, I said my first CGC submission. I learned some things from this. I definitely probably would have sent in more books to make it more cost effective. And now that I got a custom label, I probably would get more custom labels together so that they're in the same order and you don't pay tons of shipping for one book. So the notes here from, the, hey buddy, can you spare a grade? This one is, it was a 9 to a 9.2. I think 9.2 was the majority of them were 9.2. I didn't see anybody higher than 9.2. So this one's crazy. There's a couple of manufacturing wrinkles, which I heard different things. Maybe it does or maybe it doesn't go against the grade of the comic book. Either way, they didn't really come out, but Jeff was able to make them a little bit better. They're kind of like little squiggles. They look like almost like little wrinkles that are kind of like just in the fabric of the paper. And the other big one is that there's a slight split, a tear actually, probably a millimeter or two on the bottom of the spine. I didn't even see it. Jeff picked up on it. I never would have detected it. So let's see if CGC detected it. Otherwise, this book's awesome. There are like almost no ticks in here. I would take a 9.2. I mean, I was going to say I was hoping for a 9. I'm feeling pretty optimistic seeing these other books. I mean, I think this is better than some of those. So I'm hoping for a 9.2. 9.4. Okay, yeah. No, that's really respectable. I got my hopes up for 9.6. I did right at the last second. I admit it. Yeah, that's a beautiful book, guys. In the slab here with the special label. That's pretty cool. I want one raw one in my collection. I'm happy to have that newsstand edition still. I probably won't get it graded, but I am happy to have one graded because it presents so well. And yeah, crazy. So I did really, really well in my first CGC submission. I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting everything. I'd be lucky if I got a 9. And I'm ecstatic, guys, with what I got. I'm going to look up the values of these really quick so I can report to you, more or less what the, fair market value. All right, guys, I did a quick lookup of values. And the reason why I think this is important is that I got to remind you guys, I got these at yard sales and flea markets. So most of these books I got for basically like $1. If you factor in everything I purchased from this gentleman down the street, I got most of these comic books for $1. The Infinity Gauntlet I got for like $20 because it was in great shape at a flea market. And the only one I actually paid retail was on the Nova, which I bought for $70. So if you factor in what I actually paid to grade these, I know I had the free $150, but you still pay that $150. So it ended up costing me $200 to grade and ship everything here and get it back. So I'm into these books for not much at all. Basically for like a little over $100 on the books themselves. Plus you add in the 200 grading, and I think I ended up doing pretty good. So let's start with the sort of the lowest one. No surprise here, the Infinity Gauntlet, even in a 9.6. The fair market value on Go Collect is $85, but there are some recent eBay sales of this ranging anywhere from, $85 to $90. So pretty much exactly where that sits in terms of the fair market value. So absolutely, I just think it's cool. I'm not going to sell it. This is going back there on the shelf somewhere so I can look at it. Very cool. Next up, we actually have Spectacular Spider-Man 99. This one, despite being in a 9.6, and despite the fact that the spot is going to be seen on film pretty soon, or at least in CG film pretty soon. This one here, the fair market value on Go Collect is about $100. And this has, recent eBay sales ranging anywhere from $60 up to $140. So it probably is right around that $100 value, which is what I thought it would be. Still pretty cool to have it, and I'm probably going to put it just behind me. That's not going anywhere. Same is true for this one. This is the 9.4, number 99. This one actually, despite being a lower grade than the spot cover, actually goes for higher. Fair market value is $95, and it is ranging from $90 to $150 on eBay right now. All right, let's get to the big boys here. This Star Wars 8 in a 9.0. The fair market value of this one is $190. And there are recent eBay sales ranging from $133 all the way up to $255. So even in 9.0, this one is actually still worth a pretty penny, and I'm probably gonna flip this one. So I'm happy with that. And you know, just selling one of these books obviously covers my cost of everything. So if I sell this, I'm pretty much covered. That'd be awesome. Next up is the, of course, The Secret Wars number 8. I love this book, you know. So this one, the fair market value is listed as $325. Recent eBay sales going anywhere from $250 to $350. I think I'm on the north end of that one simply because of the custom label. People tend to love these, although I'm guessing because it's relatively new, we're gonna have a lot more of these, you know, being sold. But yeah, absolutely awesome comic book right here. Definitely worth over $300, and I'm stoked to have it. I'm definitely gonna keep this one. And the final one, oh goodness. Yeah, so this is actually probably the big winner, is the Nova 96. Again, he hasn't been announced in any, you know, TV shows or movies, but I love Nova. I think Nova's really cool. I'm taking this out again to look at it. And this one here, this is the only one I actually bought for retail, but I still got it for 70 bucks as it was. So if you figure in, you know, pressing and cleaning, oh, I didn't have the pressing and cleaning. Jeff gave me a great deal, so it wasn't too much more. If I factor all that in, I'm probably into this book for like $120. But this one here, on the Go Collect, the fair market value is $400, and there are recent eBay sales ranging from just shy of $400 all the way up to $480. So this is basically, you know, $400 to $500 book. And yeah, I mean, guys, I kind of see the appeal of, certainly in terms of increasing your value of getting them graded if you get a high grade. Clearly, you know, I didn't have much put into these books to begin with, so I didn't mind kind of gambling, but I'm happy that it paid off. Let me know, guys. I know this isn't really in the flavor of my lunch money comics. It kind of is because I got these all at yard sales and flea markets, but let me know down in the comments what you think of the books I got, how you think I did. I think I did pretty great. You know, let me know what you think about graded books in general. And, you know, if you want to see more of this stuff, I have a whole bunch of Silver Age books that I'm really having a hard time deciding if I want to send them in or not. I would love some of your opinions. Absolutely. You guys let me know what you think. So I'm going to hold both of these up for my my sign out here. You know, I always say, you know, keep looking for comic books in strange and unusual places. I guess I can, you know, add to that. You never know when you're going to get a gem, something really good, high quality, high value. I know in the past I've put out videos, you know, kind of lamenting how bad condition comic books are at yard sales and flea markets. I proved myself wrong. It also goes to show what, you know, some good TLC from a professional like Comic Spot can really do for your books before you send them in. I highly recommend always getting them cleaned and pressed. It's totally worth it. Certainly in this case, I absolutely earned a grade or more. So keep looking for comic books in strange or unusual places. You may end up with gems like these. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time at the flea markets.